Podcasting from the sunny state of California where Hollywood and superstars shine. Hey, and welcome to Perfectly Normal, where I talk about all life's up and down and what appears to be weird and wacky can actually turn out to be quite normal. And I'm your host, Michelle. I'm a life coach, author, artist, and pharmacist, the founder of Elevate Life Coaching. It's a seminar and coaching company. Let's get right to the show. Hi everyone! So earlier today I was at a friend's birthday party and we ended up talking, and I was there talking to a group of friends, and the topic went into a discussion of, what is the human needs. And I brought up the Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, and there's a lot of question marks that showed up on people's face. And then I kind of figured, let me do a little educational session here. So I end up going into explaining what the Maslow's hierarchy of human needs is. And I kind of figured, I wanted to share that with you here because I think it's really important to understand, what really drives us and what motivates us is really the fundamental thing that we all share. So basically, in short, Maslow's hierarchy of human needs it's a motivational theory that in psychology, it comprises of 5 tiers of models for human needs. And so you can think of it as a pyramid. And so on the very bottom of the pyramid, there's 2 basic human needs. We all look for physiological needs, which involve with food, water, air, clothing, and sleeping. Yeah, we don't think about sleeping as a fundamental human needs, right? Most of us feel like, well, what harm can it be if I just skip one night of sleep? Well, you'll be surprised if you're actually sleep deprived, how much energy that you can actually show up on the next day. Probably not much, because it's all tied into the physiological human basic needs. In the basic human needs, also there's safety needs, which involve your personal security, your employment, you're looking for some kind of health stability, and also property. That's all involved in the basic human safety needs. Moving up to the pyramid would be the psychological need, which would involve with a sense of belonging. You want to feel connected, you want to feel loved. So a lot of time we look for friendship, we look for intimate relationship, we look for family, that sense of connection. That's where the psychological needs to start to come in. Also in the psychological needs would be the esteem need, that feeling of accomplishment, that feeling of respect, and also just self-esteem, and or status recognition. That's all psychological needs that involve with esteem. Moving up to the top of the pyramid, and that is the sense of fulfillment, your self-fulfillment needs. And it's actually called self-actualization. It's the recognition and realizing that you want to achieve one's full potential, including those creative activities. And that is on the very top of the pyramid. Now, why is this important, or why even bother to bring up the Maslow's hierarchy of human needs? Well, if you think about it, we all move through motions of life and we all go from one place to another. But the reason why we motivate ourselves and inspire ourselves in doing so is because we need to fulfill these basic human needs. So why do you go to work every day? Because it's your basic needs, physiological need. You need to find water, you need to find shelter, you need to find food. And you need to have that sense of security so that you look for property. So buying a house, having that shelter over it, it gives you that sense of security by having the protection. Why do we need to protect our property? Again, it comes into that safety needs, meeting that safety needs. Once you have those basic fundamental needs, then you move on to start thinking about, well, I can't just live on earth by myself. So you look for friendship, you look for intimate relationship, you look to start a family together, because every one of it need to have that psychological needs fulfilled. Once you do that, everything taken care of, then you want that feeling of accomplishment, that sense of achieving something. You feel good about yourself. You feel there's certain degree of self-respect. You feel there's a status recognition for yourself. You feel you're meeting the status within the society. On the very top of the pyramid is self-actualization. And every one of us, that's where our full potential lies. And how do you achieve to that full potential? And that will come into, which is really related to a topic that I was talking about a couple of weeks ago about the 7 level of energy. I mean, why do you need to understand the 7 different level of energy and how they can literally change how you lead in your life? If you think about it, every one of us is really a leader. And who do you lead? Like, who are you leading today? And it could be your team, people on your team that you're working with at work. It could be your family. Maybe you have children. How do you lead in terms of setting up example for your children? But ultimately, who are you really leading? You're actually leading yourself. You are a leader for yourself. So how does the 7 different level of energy and how does it literally really change your leadership style is really affecting whether or not you can actually achieve that self-actualization process at the top of the pyramid, which is all every human needs. So let me just quickly summarize that energy concept to you all. Basically, the lowest level is the catabolic, and that means that you tend to give you what appears to be a boost in the moment, but will eventually burn you out, because the highest level is not catabolic, but rather the anabolic energy, which means that it's really the positive energy that drives you and motivates you over time. And if you go back to a couple of episodes before, I actually broke down to each different level of energy and what does it mean and involve in each level of energy. So level 1, just really quickly, it's more of a victim energy. I lost. There's no control. You don't feel control, and you feel like you're a victim of your situation or even your thoughts. Level 2 is really a conflict energy. So a lot of time it's more about blaming the others. There's a lot of competition, I win and you lose, that kind of thing. Level 3 is more acceptance. It's more about tolerating and working with the employee or someone at work or even at home to give them what they want in order to what you need to give them what they want so that you can keep what you need. So it's more about I win, but yeah, mostly I win. Level 4 is more about compassion energy. And it's basically you win, and if I lost, that's great, but you win first. So level 5 is more opportunity energy, and it's about creating the win-win situation. So you can think of it as a lot of entrepreneurs, they carry that kind of energy, looking for positive opportunity in basically everything. Level 6 is more of everybody wins. You're considering the larger community of the world, so you want everybody to win. So very much tied into the fact that, when you look at the basic fundamental human needs, we all want to look for that belonging, that sense of love and sense of connection with people. And that is really a reflection of what the level 6 energy is. It's about synergy, bringing everybody in and everybody wins. Level 7 is the 100% anabolic energy. It's a total awareness energy, and it's the ability to create something from nothing. And when you do that, you're actually able to tap into that full potential. You're in that state of constant creation, and you're basically in your full self-actualization top of the pyramid. So why is this important? Well, it's important because some of us going through our journey, we don't feel motivated. We don't feel there's any inspiration in our life. So a lot of time we do things because we have to do it. we don't feel motivated at all. Chances are, by Monday, you don't want to go to work and you don't feel work is meaningful, or maybe you don't even feel that life is meaningful. But understanding that every one of us have these hierarchy of human needs, you actually, well, it's not all or nothing kind of thing. So any given moment you can have the physiological need, and at the same time you might be looking for love and connection and that sense of belonging. So while you're looking for to meet your physiological need, you may be providing food and shelter to someone else in order to have that sense of love and connection. Looking for security that involves with maybe looking for property, maybe looking for health. And how do you tie that to the physiological need? Well, in order to have our health, in order to have the security around our health, we need to eat, we need to have water, we need to have sleep. And if you are to take away and remove any one of those needs, then your pyramid is not strong enough, and therefore you don't feel connected, you don't feel fulfilled. Perhaps you don't feel that you have the full potential because all your energy is actually shifting to what is being missing. So how do you address each level, each need, and in realizing that you have the full potential of becoming something greater than who you are right now? And that potential is what will drive you to success. So hopefully this is something very different, and I hope that I've given you some really quick perspective in terms of understanding where you are, and perhaps you're really assessing what is it that you're looking for and what is your purpose. Ultimately, it all comes down to what is your purpose? What is your life purpose? What makes you feel fulfilled? What is the meaning behind your work, and why are you here? What purpose do you serve? And do you want to find that purpose using your full potential? And that's all entirely up to you. You have a choice. So I will see you next week, and hopefully this is something that's very useful. And if you like to interact with me, definitely leave me a comment, or you can write to me at michelle.quay@gmail.com. I always love to hear from you, hear from your perspective and what you're going through, what can I do for you. And if you like my message, go ahead and share this message to someone else. Perhaps they need to listen to this right now. And so who do you know that needs to hear from me? Spread the love. Don't stop. And the idea is really to start the conversation. And if this is something that you find useful and helpful, by all means, please do share with your friends, family, anyone that you know. And I will check back with you next week. Hey, thanks for listening to Perfectly Normal. If you like my show and want to know more, please check out my website at elevatelifecoaching.org and leave me a comment. Join me next week as we talk about another real life struggle and how we can overcome it. So until then, have a great day.